You do not have a motivation problem. You have a philosophy problem. Every morning you wake up feeling ready. Every night you go to sleep having done almost nothing you planned. That cycle, that frustrating, exhausting cycle, is not a willpower failure. It is what happens when you have no operating system for your mind. 2,000 years ago, a group of men figured out exactly how to fix that. They were not monks. They were not born special. One was a Roman emperor. One was a former slave. They were called Stoics. And what they built is one of the most powerful mental frameworks most people have never actually used. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It is not about suppressing how you feel or pretending life is easy. Stoicism is a system, a daily practice, a set of rules for how to think, act, and build yourself into someone who cannot be broken by circumstance. 3 names you need to know. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, one of the most powerful men who ever lived. He wrote a private journal, not for fame, not for followers, just to hold himself accountable every single day. That journal became the book Meditations. It is still in print 2,000 years later. Epictetus, a former slave, no power, no freedom, no resources. And yet he became one of the most respected thinkers in history because he understood something most people never do. Seneca, advisor to emperors. He wrote letters about how to actually live, not just how to survive. 3 completely different lives, 1 shared philosophy, and it worked for all of them. Here is why it will work for you. Principle 1, control the controllable. Epictetus said it plainly. Some things are in our power, some things are not. Your phone buzzing is not in your control. Whether you pick it up is completely yours. The weather, other people's opinions, what happens to the economy, not yours. Your response, your effort, your discipline, entirely yours. Most people spend most of their mental energy on things they cannot change. The Stoics spent theirs on what they could. Stop fighting the world, start controlling yourself. Principle 2, embrace discomfort on purpose. The Stoics called this voluntary hardship. Cold showers when you do not have to. Skipping a meal when food is available. Waking up before you want to. Doing the hard thing. Specifically because it is hard. Not because life requires it. Because you are training your mind to stop running from difficulty. Every time you choose comfort over discomfort, you teach your brain that discomfort is a threat. Every time you walk into it by choice, you teach your brain that you are stronger than it. That is how mental armor is built. 1 voluntary hard thing at a time. Principle 3, memento mori. Use death as fuel. Marcus Aurelius meditated on death every single morning. Not morbidly, strategically. He reminded himself that his time was finite. That every day spent distracted was a day he could not get back. That the version of himself he wanted to be, disciplined, focused, purposeful, required urgency. When you truly accept that life is short, 3 hours of scrolling feels insane. Staying average feels unacceptable. Wasting another year feels like a choice you refuse to make. Death is not the enemy. Wasting your life is the enemy. Principle 4, focus on yourself. Stay silent. The Stoics practice strategic silence. Stop telling people your goals. Stop broadcasting your plans. Stop reacting to every opinion, every comment, every distraction designed to pull you out of your own lane. Your energy is finite. Every time you react, you spend it. Every time you explain yourself, you spend it. Every time you seek validation, you spend it. The person who moves in silence, works without applause, and builds without an audience, that person becomes undeniable. Protect your energy like it is the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Principle 5, action over emotion. Here is the truth nobody wants to hear. You will never feel ready. You will never feel motivated enough. You will never wake up with the perfect mental state to start. The Stoics practiced amor fati, love what is, accept the conditions exactly as they are, and move anyway. Discipline is not something you feel. It is something you do repeatedly until doing it becomes who you are. You do not feel your way into an unbreakable life. You act your way into one. Now ask yourself a real question. Which of these principles are you actually going to use? Because knowing Stoicism is easy. Anyone can watch a video. Anyone can nod along. The gap between the person you are and the person you want to be is not filled with knowledge. It is filled with action. So let's make this real. 3 days, 3 simple actions. This is where philosophy becomes transformation. Day 1, the control audit. Write down 5 things that are stressing you right now. Then draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left, things in your control. On the right, things that are not. Everything on the right, you are done thinking about it for today. Because worrying about what you cannot change is not strategy. It is self-punishment. Day 2, voluntary discomfort. Do one hard thing today that you have been avoiding. Wake up an hour earlier. Take a cold shower. Have the conversation you have been putting off. Skip the comfort food. It does not matter what it is. What matters is that you chose it voluntarily. That small proof is the beginning of trust in yourself. Day 3, strategic silence. No social media. No complaining. No announcing what you are working on. Just work in silence for 1 full day. Notice what happens to your energy. Notice how much you get done when you stop broadcasting and start building. 3 days. That is all. But those 3 days will show you more about what you are capable of than the last 3 months of reading about it. That feeling you had at the start of this video, the one that made you click, was curiosity. What you just learned is a system. them. Marcus Aurelius did not become one of the greatest leaders in human history because he felt motivated. He became great because he showed up every single day with a philosophy, a set of rules that did not depend on mood, circumstance, or how things were going. You now have those same rules. You do not need to be a Roman emperor to use them. You do not need resources. You do not need perfect conditions. You just need to decide, starting today, that average is no longer acceptable. No excuses, no distractions, just the work.